Hi and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Eric George and this is Fashion Voice. If you are seeing this video for the first time, please, we are very grateful that you are here with us. Please watch to the end of this video if this video is of great benefit to you. And yes, to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the encouragement, and let's dive right in. So this video is going to be about the basic trouser block. It's very beginner friendly and I hope it's going to be of great benefit to you. Don't forget to watch to the end of this video, and to my new subscribers, don't forget to like and please share this video. Thank you. Hi, so in this tutorial we're going to be making use of some tools. I have my masking tape, my measuring tape, my pencil, eraser, paper cutting scissors, and of course my roll. Lest I forget, my pattern paper. So let's dive right in. I'm going to now proceed to place down my pattern paper and mark what we call the green line. I'm going to indicate this is the front part of the trouser. The trouser has 4 parts, the 2 front pieces and the 2 back pieces. So we're going to start with the front piece. So first off, I'm going to measure what we call the green line. That will be the center of my trouser. I'm going to attach a picture above. If you observed correctly, I just folded my pattern paper into 2 and I'm getting the green line, which is the center line of the pattern paper. And I'm going to start my measurement from there. I'm going to roll a straight line along the green line, and after that I'll proceed to mark my waist, my hip point, and my crotch line. So in order to get the hip line, I'm going to determine if the trouser is a high waist trouser or a normal waist trouser. The standard for high waist trouser is 9, 8.5 or 8 inches depending on the height of the person, while the crotch line of a normal waist trouser, that's the normal trouser, not the high waist, is from about 6.5 to 8 inches depending on the height of the person. So I'm going to mark my hip line at 9 inches. Then I'm going to mark my crotch line 2 inches below, and I'm going to now proceed to roll the horizontal line. Then I label it. We are going to proceed to label the waistline also. Then after that, I'm going to impute my measure. So the first measurement I'm going to use is my hip measurement. I'm going to say 42 divided by 2. Remember, we have 2 front pieces and 2 back pieces. That's why I'm saying divided by 2. Now, while placing it on the green line, I'm going to say, because now we're cutting the pattern for one part of the front, we're going to say half of the front piece, that's 42 divided by 2 is going to give us 21. 21 divided by 2 again is going to give us 10.5. Now I'm going to use 10.5 as the hip of this front. Then I'm going to say the 10.5, we're going to add 1 inch for ease allowance. So we're going to have 11.5 divided by 2. That's about 5.75 on this side and 5.75 on the other side of the green line. Now you understand the need of the green line. I'm going to repeat the same measurement on the crotch line. So watch. Now, when I say I'm going to repeat this process on the crotch line, I meant on the crotch line, I'm going to be making use of the thigh circumference. The thigh of this person is about 26. So we're going to say 26, which is the thigh of one leg. Now, if you look at the basic trouser, the thigh has 2 parts, the front of one leg and the back of one leg. The front of one leg and the back of one leg. So now we're cutting the thigh for the front of one leg. So that's 26 divided by 2, that's 13. With reference to my green line, I'm going to say 13 divided by 2, which is 6.5 on this side and 6.5 on the other side. So now we have our measurement for our crotch line. Now on the waistline, we're going to transfer the hip measurement. So now the hip measurement, which was 5 3/4, I'm going to put 5 3/4 on this side of the grain line and 5 3/4 on the other side of the grain line. Then I'm going to roll a straight line from the waistline to the hip line, and I'll repeat the process on the other side too. Next, I'm going to pick what part I want to be the crotch area and what part I want to be the hip side. So I'm going to pick the right side as my crotch area. So at the waist side of the crotch part, I'm going to remove 1 inch in from the initial 5 3/4 and roll a straight line to the hip point. I hope you can see my slanted line. This is for stomach, to like give a slant line so that it gives like the illusion of a flat belly. Then I'm going to create my crotch curve at my crotch line. I hope you can see. After that, at the hip part of the hip point, I'm going to be adding 2 inches on the other side. While on the waist, I'm going to be imputing the waist measurement, which is 28 divided by 4, giving me 7. From the new line, that's the 1 inch in, I'm going to be measuring 7. Then I'll add 1 inch, since this is a pattern for dart allowance. You remember the dart? Yes. Then I'll do a freehand connection from the waistline to the 2 inches on the hip line. Yes, to give a curve, because of course you know you have to give room for the hips of a woman. Then on the crotch line, I'm going to be adding 1 inch allowance on both sides of the grain line. Then I'll also connect it from the hip line to the crotch line and also arrange it accordingly. Watch. Next, I'm going to get the knee point. To get the knee point, we have a standard measurement of 21. But if I don't want to use the standard measurement, maybe I'm not really sure of what the height of the person is, I'm going to measure from the crotch line to the trouser length and divide it by 2, then minus 2 from whatever I get. That will give you the accurate knee point of whoever you're making the person's trouser. Now I'm going to take the knee circumference divided by 2, which is 18 divided by 2 for one of the legs, the front part. 18 divided by 2 is going to give me 9. Now for the grain line, I'm going to do 4.5 on this side and 4.5 on the other side. Then I'll add my 1 inch allowance on both sides, 1 inch. After that, I'll connect the line from the crotch line to the new knee line. Now we are moving to the ankle line. So my pattern paper is not up to the trouser length of the individual we're creating the pattern for. So I'm going to indicate that the actual trouser length needed is 40 inches, but what I have available is 36. Now my ankle circumference, I'm going to be using 10. That's after dividing it by 2 and plus the sewing allowance. I'm going to just use 10 because I'm not creating a pencil trouser. I'm just creating a straight trouser. So I'm going to add 5 on this side and 5 on the other side. But if you want to calculate it, you just repeat the process on the knee line. You just say your ankle circumference divided by 2. Then you do half of the divided by 2 on one side of the grain line, half on the other side of the grain line. Then you add your 1 in sewing allowance. So that's it. So I'll now connect it from the knee line to the ankle point. And yes, I proceed to use my paper scissors and cut out the excesses, and our front pattern is complete. Now for the back pattern, I'm going to be placing my front pattern directly on it. Then I'll use my masking tape to hold it down. I'll be coming down by like 1.5 to 2 inches, depending on the size of the person. Then I'm going to use that as the rise. We call it the rise of the trouser. It gives room for the buttocks of the woman so that when she sits down, she feels comfortable. Now on this rise, I'm going to say on the waistline, I'm going to go in by about 2 inches. Now that gives room for balancing the back of the trouser. because like for a woman you have to balance the back so that it looks snatched and it gives the illusion of a small waist at the back. So I'm going in by 2 inches. Then I'm going to indicate my hip line. I'm going to indicate my crotch line. On the crotch line I'm going down by 1/2 inch. Hope you can see that. Then I'm going to lift up my front pattern, then connect the lines with freehand. Now this can be challenging, so if this is your first time, do well to make use of a French curve or hip curve, something like that. So this is what it looks like. Note that I've already indicated my hip line and my crotch line, so we move to the next step. Now on the hip line, I'm going to be indicating the person's hip measurement, which is 10.5. Then I'm going to be adding 2-inch allowance. Then I'm going to mark it. While on the waistline, I'm going to start from the new 2 inches mark and measure the waist of the person, which is 7 inches, just like the front, because we're creating one part of the back pattern. Then after indicating that, I'm going to add my 1 inch for that allowance. Next, I'm going to be connecting the hip line to the waistline measurement, the new measurements. Then I'm going to be adding 1/2 inch on this side of the crotch as seam allowance for this pattern. Then I'll also connect it. Just basically going to be adding 1/2 inch to every line, the knee line, the ankle line of this pattern by this side. And on the other side, I'm going to be adding 1 inch to the crotch line, knee line, and ankle line on this other side where the crotch is. After adding my 1 inch allowance, I'll connect my lines and trim out the excesses. Now, when we get back to the waistline, where the high rise is, I'm going to be saying from that point where the high rise is, I'm going to be making a slanted line to the original waistline of the front piece. This is so that the sides of the trouser can balance out and blend in. So now the high rise, if you can remember, I said this for the ass of the lady, to give room and so that it doesn't like show the butt cheeks when she sits. So observe. Then I proceed to trim. I will then indicate my hip line, my crotch line. I'll just like roll out my horizontal lines so that I will understand the pattern better. I will also like indicate that this is my back pattern. I will write out the hip line, the crotch line, the knee points, and all that for the back pattern, so that for future reference I will know what I'm working with and the details of the pattern. If it's a size 10 or if it's a size 12 pattern, I'm going to indicate that. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.